Most people get this wrong when they try to start a company in South Korea. They assume it is just about filling out a few forms, getting approval, and opening a bank account. But in reality, South Korea has a highly structured legal system, and every step must be done in the correct sequence, or your application can get delayed for weeks. Here's the truth no one tells you. South Korea is not difficult because it is closed to foreigners. It is difficult because it is detail-heavy, documentation-driven, and extremely precise about compliance. And here's the interesting part. Once you understand the system, South Korea becomes one of the most startup-friendly and innovation-driven markets in Asia. In this video, you are going to learn exactly how to start a company in South Korea in 2026, step by step. We will cover legal structures, registration, visas, banking, taxes, office setup, and the mistakes most foreigners make when entering the Korean market. And stay with me, because in a minute I'll show you the easiest company structure foreigners use to launch in South Korea without getting stuck in unnecessary bureaucracy. Let's start with the foundation. If you want to start a company in South Korea, the first thing you need to understand is legal structure. This decision affects everything from taxes, to visas, to banking approval. There are three main options. The first is a foreign direct investment company, often called an FDI company. This is the most common option for foreign entrepreneurs who want full control. The second is a branch office of a foreign company. This is used when you already have a business overseas and want to expand into Korea. The third is a liaison office. This is very limited and cannot generate income. It is mainly used for market research or communication. Now here is where most people make a mistake. They choose a liaison office, thinking it is a simple starting point. But later they realize they cannot generate revenue, which forces them to restart the entire process. So, for most entrepreneurs, the FDI company is the correct choice. For example, Alex from Germany wants to open a digital marketing agency in Seoul. If he chooses an FDI company, he can legally invoice clients, hire staff, and operate fully in Korea. Now let's move to the second step, which is investment requirements. South Korea has a clear foreign investment rule. In most cases, you need a minimum investment of 100 million Korean won to qualify for an FDI registration. Now, here's the important insight. This is not just a random number. It is used to determine eligibility for business visas and foreign company status. But here's the problem many beginners face. They think this money must be spent immediately. In reality, it is capital investment, meaning it must be deposited and registered, but not necessarily spent. Now let's move to the third step, which is company name registration. In South Korea, your company name must be unique and approved through the court registry system. This sounds simple, but here's where delays often happen. If your name is too similar to an existing company or violates naming rules, it will be rejected. For example, Jake from the US tries to register Soltech Solutions. If that name already exists or is too similar, he must revise it and resubmit. So always prepare multiple name options before applying. Now let's move to the fourth step, which is office administration. Every company in South Korea must have a registered business address. Now here's where many foreigners struggle. Virtual offices are sometimes allowed, but they must be legally approved. Not every co-working space qualifies. In cities like Seoul or Busan, there are business centers that specialize in providing legally recognized addresses for foreign companies. But here's the key point. Your office address can affect your tax office assignment and administrative processing speed. So choosing the right location is more important than most people realize. Now let's move to the fifth step, which is document preparation. To register a company in South Korea, you need several documents. These include your passport, investment proof, business plan, company articles, and address lease agreement. Now here's where it gets interesting. Many documents must be translated into Korean and notarized. Even small translation errors can delay your application significantly. So most foreign founders hire local legal agencies or consultants to ensure accuracy. Now let's move to the sixth step, which is company registration with the court. Once all documents are ready, you submit them to the Korean court registry system. This step officially creates your company as a legal entity. Now here's something important. Processing time can vary depending on region, but typically it takes 1 to 3 weeks if everything is correct. If there are errors, it can take much longer. So precision matters more than speed here. Now let's move to the 7th step, which is tax registration. After your company is registered, you must register with the National Tax Service. South Korea has a structured tax system that includes corporate tax, VAT, and local taxes. Now here's the key insight. Even small businesses must maintain proper bookkeeping from day one. For example, John from Canada opens a small software company in Seoul. Even if he has only a few clients, he must still file tax reports accurately. Now here's where many new founders get caught off guard. Tax compliance is strict, and penalties for late filing can be significant. So hiring an accountant is not optional if you want to scale safely. Now let's move to the 8th step, which is opening a corporate bank account. This is one of the most important steps in the entire process. Without a Korean bank account, your company cannot operate normally. But here's the challenge. Korean banks are very strict with foreign companies. They will review your business plan, your investment structure, your office address, and sometimes even interview the company director. Now here's something most people don't expect. Even if your company is legally registered, your bank account can still be rejected if your business activity is unclear or high risk. So your business description must be simple, realistic, and well documented. Now let's move to the 9th step, which is visa requirements. If you are a foreign founder, you will likely need a D8 investor visa or a D9 business visa depending on your structure. To qualify, you must show investment capital, business registration, and operational plans. Now here's the key insight. Immigration officers focus on sustainability, not just investment size. They want to see that your company can survive and operate in Korea long term. Now let's move to hiring employees. Once your company is active, you can legally hire Korean employees. But you must follow labor laws strictly, including contracts, insurance, and payroll reporting. For example, if Jake hires a developer in Seoul, he must register them with the 4 major social insurance systems in Korea. Now here's the important point. Labor compliance is very structured, and once set up correctly, it becomes very stable. Now let's talk about timeline. On average, company formation in South Korea takes about 4 to 8 weeks if everything is properly prepared. Delays usually happen due to document errors or banking issues, not government inefficiency. Now let's go over common mistakes. The first mistake is choosing the wrong company structure. The second mistake is underestimating investment requirements. The third mistake is using incorrect or incomplete Korean translations. The fourth mistake is selecting the wrong office setup. And the fifth mistake is applying for a visa too early without proper company setup. Now let's bring everything together. Starting a company in South Korea in 2026 is absolutely achievable for foreign entrepreneurs. But it requires structure, precision, and preparation. If you choose the correct legal structure, prepare your investment properly, secure a valid office address, register your company accurately, open your bank account, and complete tax and visa requirements step by step, you can successfully operate in one of Asia's most advanced business environments. Now here is your quick summary. First, choose an FDI structure, or branch office. Then, prepare your investment capital. Next, register your company name, and secure your address. After that, submit documents and register your company with the court. Then, complete tax registration, and open your bank account. Finally, apply for your visa and hire employees legally. And here is the final insight. South Korea rewards preparation. It does not reward shortcuts. If you follow the system correctly, you gain access to one of the most innovative and fast-growing markets in the world. If you found this guide helpful, like this video, leave a comment with your business idea, and subscribe for more step-by-step global company formation guides. And in the next video, we will compare South Korea and Singapore, so you can decide where to launch your startup for maximum growth.